Now, the Chief Justice of the Philippines, who has been an outspoken critic of President Rodrigo Duterte, has been removed from office. The High Court ruled that Maria Sereno had failed to submit statements of earnings when she applied for the role in 2012. Mr. Duterte had called for her removal. From Manila, here's our Philippines correspondent, Howard Johnson.
Laban po tayong lahat!
Protests outside the Supreme Court this morning as supporters of Chief Justice Sereno called on magistrates to junk the petition to remove her as the country's top judge. But it wasn't enough to stop the majority from ruling that she had failed to correctly declare her earnings. It is the first time in the Philippines that a Chief Justice has been ousted in this way. Mrs. Sereno has also been facing impeachment proceedings for 27 allegations of wrongdoing, including corruption and betrayal of the public trust. Speaking to the BBC, Mrs. Sereno described the allegations against her as hogwash.
I'm saying let us all know the truth. Let us all go to the Senate. I have no problem with that. I will step down the moment there is a verdict of conviction. But why are they afraid of a Senate trial? Because the reality is there is no impeachable offense.
In the past, Mrs. Sereno has irked Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte for criticizing his war on drugs, a campaign which has seen thousands of drug users and dealers killed by the Philippine National Police Force. Human rights groups allege that many of the killings were extrajudicial. Mrs. Sereno believes the actions against her represent an abuse of the president's powers.
It's written across all the proceedings that the end agenda here is political. By saying, you are my enemy. Or in August of 2016, when he said, you, Chief Justice, you want me to tell everybody not to follow you? That is basically a weakening of democratic institutions.
A spokesperson for the president has called on the public to respect the Supreme Court's decision. Mrs. Sereno says she will file a motion for reconsideration. Howard Johnson, BBC News, Manila.
Some other top stories to update you on. The United Nations